You have tried to eat better, drink water, cut more. The minute life gets busy, those habits vanish. Sounds familiar? In this video, I'm sharing 5 simple, high impact, healthy hacks that work in busy life so you can show up like the CEO your business needs. That's what we are diving into. And near the end, I will share the one shift that helped me maintain my momentum even during difficult seasons. Because here's the truth. If you want to dominate in 2025, you need more than hustle. You need habits that help you stay consistent, energized, and lead well without burning out. Hack number 1, identify what's stealing your energy. Before trying to drink more water, wake up earlier, or follow a new plan, pause. Because none of that will stick if you're consistently leaking energy. Here's what most entrepreneurs miss. It's not that you lack discipline. You're trying to build new habits on top of old, unaddressed patterns. Figure out what is draining you. But no, this step isn't a one-time thing. It's something you must practice consistently. And I'm not just talking about surface stuff like skipping meals or not drinking enough water. I want you to really look at your day and ask yourself, what's the first thing I reach for when I feel overwhelmed? Is it coffee, sugar? And then ask why. When in the day am I most likely to make decisions that don't support the version of me I want to become? Am I eating because I'm hungry? Or do I need a break, a reward, or relief? Because your energy isn't just affected by what you do, but also by what you tolerate. Skipping meals, eating junk food, always doing, all of that adds up. But here's the part most people never ask. What need is that draining habit trying to meet? Maybe that late night snack gives you comfort. Maybe skipping meals feels easier than slowing down. Maybe that soda is your reward for pushing through the day. It's not just about the habit, but the underlying need. And until you understand that, you will keep repeating the cycle. Because no amount of new routine will work if you're tired, triggered, and emotionally spent from the habits you are not addressing. So instead of asking, what should I add? Ask yourself, what is costing me energy right now? What am I doing out of habit, not intention? What is this behavior trying to help me cope with or avoid? This kind of awareness is what creates long-term change. You don't fix what you don't need. And once you see it, you can shift it. Because the first step to a better habit is understanding the one that's holding you back. Hack number 2, fix the bottleneck, then replace it with something that works. So now that you have identified what is draining you, you want to fix it. Not the whole routine, not your entire life, just the one habit that is doing the most damage. We often think we must change everything at once. But here's the truth. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. There's usually just one habit that keeps throwing your whole day off track. That's what I call your bottleneck. You know what I mean? That thing you always fall into when you're tired, overwhelmed, or stretched thin. Maybe it's skipping breakfast. Maybe it's reaching for sugar after lunch. Whatever it is, don't just cut it out and call it a day. Here's why. If you remove a habit that your brain sees as a reward or comfort, but don't replace it with something that meets the same need in a healthier way, you will default right back into the old pattern because your brain doesn't want discipline. It wants relief. It wants safety. It wants reward. So here's what to do. Find a habit that is tripping you up. Then ask, what need is this meeting for me? How can I meet that same need in a way that supports my energy and focus? If you skip meals to save time, maybe your new habit is prepping simple grab and go. If you reach for sweets when you're stressed, try swapping it for a stress reliever that actually calms your nervous system, like deep breathing, a quick prayer, or stepping outside for fresh air. It doesn't have to be deep, but it must work for you. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to make your next decision easier because you plan for it. This is what it means to fix the bottleneck. You stop tripping over the same thing every day and start replacing it with a habit that actually serves you. One habit at a time, one shift at a time. Hack number 3, build habits that support your performance. Here's something no one really tells you when you start focusing on your health. There's a big difference between a good habit and a high impact one. You could do plenty of things that are technically healthy. Drink more water, take cold showers, track every calorie, take 14 supplements a day. Try all the trending wellness hacks you scroll past on Instagram. But if everything is priority, nothing gets done. But as entrepreneurs, juggling the business, your team, your clients, and your home life, you are going to overwhelm yourself trying to do too much. This is why I always say, don't try to do everything. You need to focus on the habits that give you the highest return on your energy. Because some habits, they may seem simple, but they create serious ripple effects. Like starting your morning with protein instead of sugar so you don't crash by 10 a.m. Moving your body after meals to support digestion and focus. Preparing your meals ahead so when the day gets crazy, your fuel is already handled. These are the habits that don't just sound good on paper, they feel good in your body. They give you energy that lasts. They clear the mental fog. They make it easier to lead, decide, and follow through. So if you have been struggling to stay consistent, don't start with 10 habits. Start with one that truly support how you want to show up. Because performance isn't about doing more, it is about doing what matters most on repeat. That's how you build habits that stick. That's how you create momentum that lasts. That's how you lead your business with energy, focus, and confidence. Hack number 4. Stop calling your small effort nothing. Let's talk mindset for a minute. Because this right here, this is what silently keeps so many high achievers stuck. You start drinking more water, going for a 5-minute walk, saying a quick prayer before your day starts. And then this little voice creeps in. That's not nothing. You should be doing more. 5 minutes wouldn't change anything. But that voice, that is not truth. That's all programming trying to keep you in the same cycle. Because here's what I have learned. Small actions are not nothing. They are evidence. Every time you wake up a little earlier to prep your lunch, every time you choose water before coffee, every time you skip the cake and grab an apple instead, that's not random. That's proof you're shifting from chaos to control, from reaction to intention, from burnout to leadership. And even though it seems small, your subconscious is paying attention. Identity isn't built by what you say you would do, it is built by what you do repeatedly. When you show up consistently, even in small ways, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop being a person who is trying to get it together and you start becoming the person who does. Because momentum isn't created by huge effort, it's created by daily action, repeated on ordinary days, in quiet ways, when no one else is watching. So here's your reminder. That one glass of water counts. That one intentional meal matters. That 5-minute walk after meal, it is not nothing. It's the beginning of everything. Stop discrediting your small step. You are building a new version of you, one choice at a time. Hack number 5. Design a system that works even on your worst day. Let me tell you something that changed the way I look at healthy habits forever. The goal isn't to crush it once. The goal is to stay in the game, especially when life gets messy. So last year, my grandmother was in the hospital. It was unexpected, and it completely flipped my routine upside down. I was at the hospital every day. My schedule was thrown off. I couldn't cook or train the way I liked. But here's the thing, I couldn't just pause on my health because during those hard seasons, that's when you need it most. So I adjusted. I didn't aim for perfect. I created what I now call a bare minimum for bad days. It looked like this. I used the stairs instead of the elevator to get in movement. I shortened my workouts to just 10 minutes to maintain consistency. If I had to buy food, I made sure it wasn't junk. It had to be nourishing and aligned with my goals. I prioritized rest when I could, even if it was just a 10-minute moment of quiet. That season taught me you don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your systems. So you need a system that gives you grace but still moves you forward. And that's what designing for real life looks like. Building flexibility into your routine. Aligning habits where they naturally fit. Automating your decisions so the healthy choice is the easy one. Listen, there will be days when you are tired, distracted, and overwhelmed. But your health doesn't stop mattering just because life gets hard. That's why your habits can't be built on willpower alone. They need to be designed for your real life. so you don't fall off the way when things get chaotic. Build your bare minimum. Make it easy to win, especially when motivation is low. Because showing up for your health on the hard days, that's what made all the difference to the good ones. Let me ask you something. What is it costing you to lead your business while rejecting your body? Is it really about discipline? Or have you just never had a system that support the version of you are becoming? Because these habits, they are not just about your health. They are about your leadership, your clarity, your ability to execute under pressure without burning out. When your energy is strong, your decisions are sharper, your confidence grows, your impact multiplies. So hit the link in the description to download Build Better Habits, Build a Better Business cheat sheet. It is a simple, powerful 8-step framework to help you build habits that stick, even when life gets busy. Let's make this your most energized, focused, and unshakable year yet.